Hello and welcome everybody, it's Joshino, and today I'm going to be doing a channel update, and also I'm going to go over my subscriber questions that I'm going to answer. So I'll say beforehand, if you haven't noticed already, behind me there is a little bit of a theme of pink and flowers. Thankfully this lens on my camera blurs everything out in the background so you can't completely see it in its full very feminine glory. But the reason I'm in here is because I realised actually that there's a perfect lighting in here for vlogging, because my sister has this ring around her mirror that has sets of lights across it. So really on my eyes, I'm looking into the side compartment of my camera now, I shouldn't be having any shadows, which you saw in my last vlog, which was 2 weeks ago. And just to mention as well, now that I've mentioned it, I'm going to try and do this sort of question and answer update every 2 weeks, so every fortnight, and it has been just over 2 weeks now, so I thought I'd do this. So, videos I have in the work for you guys. I've got another Planetside 2 video, which is going to go over how to grind certs so fast. It's going to be a cert guide. I know that Rel's last one was a year ago, so and also it was mainly because a subscriber requested it. Dr. Gorse asked me to do it, and I've been putting it together, but it's taken longer than I thought because I don't really want to rush it, and I've been ill, so I've been waking up late, so I haven't had as much time as I thought. I've also been trying out a game called Black Desert Online. It's an Morpega. And I might have a video out about that. I don't know if you've heard of it. I basically won a competition, got in the closed beta, so I'm giving that a good go. And what's happening in Joshino's life? Well, actually, the past week or so of work's absolutely sucked because we know that the layoffs are going to happen. If you saw my video a couple of weeks ago, I wasn't really sure what was going to happen because the cuts of the government on charity funding in the local area wasn't mentioned yet. But what happened in my local area is that 30 charities got cut, including my own, to zero funding from whatever they had before. So, my service is going to go and my job's probably going to go, which I don't know when or where or how yet, which is making it very uneasy in the workplace. But also, I do know that there are going to be quite a lot of people that are going to have nowhere to go now. Not only is my charity closing down, well, not having this service level, all the other charities that we might have signposted to are also gone, so I don't know what to say to people when they come to us, so it's a bit heartbreaking, to be honest, and I know that quite a lot of the people will probably break down, and my service is with the Citizens Advice Bureau, and we house a lot of people with learning difficulties and mental health problems, cope and manage with just day-to-day stuff that you probably would feel easy, like doing bills or sorting out what's going on with their financial situation, and people are going to get into debt, and it's not going to be nice, and it's not nice at the moment turning people away saying I don't know what's going to happen in 2 weeks, so we can't book you in to see somebody. It's kind of heartbreaking, but that's that anyway, and I've got a lot out of it so far, and I probably will be able to get something myself, but it is not a nice situation to be in at the moment. But in good news, my channel's almost reached 1 million views on its lifetime. 1 million views, that is a lot. It's just a big number to think about. Also, something that's good now is that my channel seems to have picked up in the past month. I've actually got 100,000 views in the past 28 days, and one of my videos was my whole viewership for the previous month. One that had 12,000 views basically, and I don't really understand YouTube analytics and the way it all works, because this just seems random to me. I mean, I'm putting out content as I would before. I think probably my quality may have gone a bit up, maybe, but I haven't really changed that much. But somehow I did have, not anymore, I think I've got about 6 now, 8 of the search results for Planetside 2. So basically if you search Planetside 2, you would have got 8 of Joshino's videos pop up, which is ridiculous and probably why I've got so many views. How I did that, I have no idea. I haven't really changed my tags or anything like that, so it doesn't really make sense to me, but it's good. So thanks to everybody for watching my videos and pushing them up there into that top viewership so that other people could see them, because that's what YouTube's about, unfortunately, is getting viewed. Even if you make something that's a masterpiece, if you don't get it viewed, then you've got nothing basically. I try and comment as much as possible and like other people's videos so it pops them up if I see something good. But realistically, if you don't share your stuff and you don't get yourself out there, there's no way of getting more viewers. It's not the best system, but hey ho, at least it's working for me, starting to at least. I mean, I can't make a living off it, because even with 100,000 views, that relates in the analytics to about $80 revenue, which is very nice. It's actually a massive bonus, especially as I'm probably going to be made redundant in the next month or so. So thank you all for that as well, but not something I can live off. Anyway, let's get on to the questions. Enough of this jibber jabber. By the way, I've got the questions on a piece of paper, and the reason why I've done this is because if I have them on my phone on the comments section, then for some reason the microphone on top of here picks up a weird static frequency, so I didn't want to do that. So I've just written them all down. And actually this is where I write all the ideas for my videos. And because of this whole redundancy thing, I haven't been sleeping that well during work time, but that has also had positive effects because I've not been able to sleep. I've been writing a lot more ideas in my notepad in the middle of the night, and I've had more videos to go off, which is why I've had so much content come out recently. And this is my lucky book. Anyway, the first question comes from Justin Prism, who says, what keyboard do you have? And he's basically asking me to show it off. So it's the Corsair K70 RGB, and in the background I'm going to put some footage up of me just doing a little bit of fiddly foo with the keyboard. It's a nice keyboard, it's mechanical, and once you go mechanical, guys, you don't go back. The mechanical feels so much better to type with, not just in video games where the responsiveness is better, but even when I'm typing out a Word document like a script or something like that, or writing up some notes to do a more freestyle video, it makes a massive difference. And I'd recommend a mechanical keyboard to anyone. The Corsair K70 is quite expensive, it's very pretty, and you can set up profiles. Like one of the profiles is a 1-up Mario symbol where the green mushroom goes up the keyboard. I personally prefer the rainbow one, so whenever you press a key, there's like a little ripple of rainbows coming out. But there is this keyboard called the Q-Pad, and that's a mechanical keyboard, and it goes on sale quite regularly. It doesn't have all the flashy hoo-has, but it does have the mechanical components on the keys, which is the important part. And if you ever see one of those on sale, it might be worth getting if you're running on a budget. On to the next question. Elias Vincent says, I need some help. I'm playing with the thought of deleting my TR character level 50 and starting again. But now with VS, what do you think on this topic? So I really can't tell you whether or not to start a new character again. Personally, I probably wouldn't delete a battle rank 50 or higher character on my own unless it was completely imperative, just because of how much time you've pushed into it. However, the new player experience has become so much better than it was in the early days, just because you get that extra, I think, 1,500 certs. It's 100 certs every level up to battle rank 15, so it's either 50,000, 1,500, sorry, or 1,400. I'm not sure, because of not getting one on level 1, but I don't know. It's either 1,400 or 1,500, and that's a nice boost to when you start off. I don't think the new player experience is as bad as they make out, as long as you invest those first 1,500 or 1,400 certs into abilities rather than into weapons. That's the big thing that's going to make your grind easier or harder. And as I always say, a weapon doesn't make you better in the game. Their weapons are all just side grades, so the default stuff is very usable and all the VS stuff is good. For example, the Orion on the Heavy is probably one of the best LMGs in the game. Solstice whatever is the default, I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's fine, it works, it feels very tight. I mean, you're not going to be let down by switching over. One of the main things actually is the tank and air certs that you've probably already put in again, because they take a long time to get up to the point where you were probably at battle rank 50. And as I said, it's really up to you whether or not, how important it is that you make this new character. Maybe even it'd be better to get a membership and open up those slots for a month. That might always be an option if you do have some money, because I'm not completely opposed to it. I mean, I always try and give people as much as possible as a free player with Planetside 2 as to what they can do to increase their grind or whatever, but I'm not completely against spending money in the game. It obviously helps them carry on, and this might be one of those moments where if you've only got 3 slots open, you might want to pay some money and open the slots. I mean, you need to check this out because I'm not sure how it works now, but I'm fairly sure because I had my membership in the past, I've got my 6 slots open, even though I don't have a membership now, but I'm not 100% sure how that works out, so I'll probably just double check that. Elson Young says, cheers from your maybe only Kiwi, who are also known as New Zealanders. And I'll just say this, that I am almost certain that you're not the only New Zealander. There must be others out there. New Zealand's not that tiny of a country. I mean, it's not the most populated country in the world, but it's not that tiny. There must be other Kiwis out there. And I was just wondering, do New Zealanders call the English Poms, or is that just the Australians that use that phrase? Or is it limeys? I don't know whether the Americans say limeys. I don't know. There's all sorts of quite negative slang for the English and then British. I'm not sure whether it just refers to the English or the British as a whole, seeing as British is the Scottish and Irish and Welsh taken into account as well. Energy One asks, what new games are you looking forward to? And probably the biggest game I'm looking forward to is the Cyberpunk game made by the developers of The Witcher. I'm not 100% sure what it's called. I think it's Cyberpunk 2077, but I haven't turned it on any of my electronic devices today apart from this camera, so if I wanted to go double check it, I couldn't. So that game looks pretty awesome because I do love Cyberpunk. Think Ghost in the Shell. I mean, even on the trailer they had sort of like a visor thing over their face that looked like they were plugged in some sort of virtual hacking thing, and it just looks awesome. That looks just like the thing they were wearing in Ghost in the Shell, which is an anime that is a masterpiece. I would highly recommend watching the film and watching the series. Even if you think, I hate anime, I hate things that are bubbly or whatever, that is not one of those anime. It's very serious and dark. I'm also looking forward to Overwatch, but I didn't get into the damn beta again. I mean, it's not a MOBA. I know that you said before that you didn't like MOBAs. It's not really a MOBA. It is a hero game though, and I've played a mode in Counter-Strike Source and Go where basically you picked a hero as the CS character. So you could be the Human Alliance, which had evasion and extra damage and crits, or, well, I don't remember exactly what their abilities were. Some had teleportation, and I really, really enjoyed that sort of gameplay, and I think that having abilities in an FPS can add a different edge, and it's going to be a fun game, I think, and I think it's going to have a lot of potential to make videos on it, because you're going to be able to make guides on each hero, you're going to be able to make lots of different bits and bobs, so I'm looking forward to that game. I've been watching this game called Duelists that Trump's been playing, which is a bit like Hearthstone, but instead of having cards, you have like a 3D plane and you place down creatures. I haven't got to play it yet, but it does look pretty fun. Off the top of my head, I can't really think of anything else right now, but there probably are a lot of other games I'm looking forward to. Anyway, let's get on. Fosporun says, congrats Joshino, it was 2 years of fun. Do you still remember me? Of course, Fosporun. Varian Azul says, sorry to hear about your job, mate, but at least charity work's gotta look good on a resume, no? Or in all honesty, I've got experience that I wouldn't be able to get anywhere else, just because it is a charity and there's been so much flexibility in it. At the moment, my role is basically doing interviews with people coming in. Whenever somebody comes into the service, I interview them, see where exactly they need to go, and give them as much information as possible on my end. I'm trained up to be an advisor, trained up to be the supervisor, and I often have to cover for the supervisors when they're doing something else with a project or if they're ill. So I've got management experience which I wouldn't get anywhere else. I've just been so flexible in my role, so my CV looks like, well, it's good basically, because I've been able to do absolutely everything in the role. And I'm sure that it won't be that difficult to get something else, but it's just, at the moment it's been good because I've been able to do this part-time. It's rewarding because you're helping people out and you're sorting out their problems and you feel a big sense of achievement, I guess. Also, because it's part-time, I've been able to do a lot more videos, and why my content's been so regular and it gives me a long time to put stuff together because it's so hard doing videos, coming up with ideas over and over again. Sometimes it can take an hour just to brainstorm what video you're going to make. So it's very time intensive, and it's just been an opportunity to do all this. Alvord Almanier. I haven't written these down very well, to be honest. I don't know what this one is. Alvordar Almanier says, more Planetside 2. More. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a Planetside 2 video tomorrow, so don't worry about that. There's going to be more Planetside 2 coming. And I did a Planetside 3 video before, so wow, I went one step better. The Cookie Game says, hi, what age... The Cookie Game says, hi, what age restriction... The Cookie Game says, hi, what age restriction do you recommend for Planetside 2? This is a difficult one just because I don't really advocate the age restriction system that much. The thing that you have, I mean, I think it should be down individually to parents to look at what a child should play. I know that's not what parents want to hear, but there shouldn't be a restriction for an age, but a guide. And the guide, I'd say, for Planetside 2 is because it's not a violent game. The violence in the game isn't so much about gore, it's not about sadism, it's about the competition. And why is it about the competition? Because it's a multiplayer game where you're overcoming your opponent. Killing them is only a method to get that competitive edge on another player. It's not the murder, is the enjoyment of the game. You don't enjoy killing people, you enjoy beating them. So in this game, it's not really violent in a way that might affect a child or their judgment. With it being an online game, you have to have some sort of maturity, or somebody there watching them play the game to make sure that a paedophile's not picking them up, or they're not being told something really inappropriate. So I say 13, 14, depending on how mature they are. I mean, bear in mind that when I was like 4, I was playing Doom on my grandparents' PC whenever we went round at Christmas, and that was gory as hell. And I haven't become a psychopathic murderer. In fact, I'm probably the opposite, going to charity and helping people out. I'm not a massive bellend either, so I don't know. Planetside 2 probably, just because it's online, 14, depending on how mature you think the child is. I think it's actually got a 16 rating whenever you go into an English shop and get the actual game, because there's like a starter pack for PC, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Panda the Green says, Pandas versus Koalas. And I did notice that somebody else in the comment section did have a koala bear as their profile picture, so I am a bit tentative in doing this one. But I do have to say, panda bears are so much cuter than koala bears. I've seen a koala bear in real life, and it was actually quite sad because the koala bears were being manhandled. It was like a petting zoo from a koala bear, but they were like all day in front of a camera and having to sit with pictures taken of them with a person. It was actually really sad. I think that's put me off koala. Well, not put me off the actual animal, but the idea of a koala bear being cute. Whereas I know with pandas that the only thing that's happening in a zoo is that they're trying to make them mate because they're so close to extinction. And that's another cool thing about them, is that there are so few of them. Anyway, that was this week's Q&A and update. Maybe I'll be in a different circumstances in the next 2 weeks, who knows, it might be really positive. I might move somewhere else, I might have a new job, so let's see. And thank you all very much for the questions. If you've got something to ask for next week, it can be absolutely anything. It could be about Planetside 2, it could be about life, it could be about advice, it could be about anything. So go ahead and put your comments in the comment section below. Like if you thought the video was fabby dooby, dislike if you thought the video was naffy waffy, and subscribe for more. Until next time, Joshino. And yeah, ignore the pinkness. The pinkness is in your mind, it's an illusion. Goodbye.